Hello, this is Valerie again. And so this second video for Your Life Matters in this segment of bullying and suicide, um, I'm going to do just that, speak about bullying and suicide. I went to an event this past weekend and I was one of the speakers. And we were supposed to speak about what we do for the community and why we do it. So that's what I'm going to share with you this morning. And I do have a notebook that I will be looking down at my notes, okay? So I consider myself to be a self-made advocate for prevention and awareness for bullying and suicide. About 2 to 3 times a year, I put on an event for youth and their parents. Usually I have a table for things, activities for kids to do. And then there's a table where we have food. Sometimes we have food that's free, and then we have something that we also sell, because I always want to help and bless others or people that are less fortunate. Everybody can't always afford or pay for something. We have to be able to bless people. So then there's tables with there's resource tables. I have resource tables out for parents and for youth. One has little grab bags of resource information and maybe bullying, suicide pencils, erasers, bracelets for the children to pick up. Different little bags for each age group. And I have posters for some of the teenagers about it's called 13 Reasons of Hope, which I got from one of the suicide national websites where you can order stuff from and help other people. So then for the parents, there's all kinds of resources and pamphlets about things that youth go through that you might not know about, but you need to recognize some of the signs, or you might need to sit down and have a conversation with your child. So I do that a few times a year. I come out of my own pocket. I might not have much, but the Lord always provides for me to be able to do this when I do it, along with my play. I put on my play at least once a year, A Stand Against Youth Bullying and Suicide, which it was nominated in 2013 in Atlanta, Georgia by Kingdomwood Christian Film Festival, and I'm hoping to turn that into a short film one day. So anyway, that's why I consider myself a self-made advocate, because no one asked me to do this. I started doing this on my own. And why? Because in 2006, October 13th, on a Friday to be exact, I lost my nephew, Briante, to suicide. Briante was 15 and a half years old. During the same time, which I didn't know till years later, that my own son was suicidal. He was planning to take his life at around the same time that my nephew took his life, and they are only 4 months apart. So these are some of the reasons. I have quite a few reasons, and I'm going to discuss them all here with you. My son, even recently, as probably a year ago, for 3 years, he was severely depressed, and he was suicidal. And I ended up being his lifeline. As his mother, I was the one that got the messages, the phone calls. I was the one encouraging him, trying to talk him through and let him know not to give up. You know, as difficult as that was, that's the role that I had to take. My son, he's a great person. Let me just leave it at that. So, other reasons why I do what I do. According to CDC.gov, suicide is the second leading cause of death for young people. At one time, it was ages 15 through 24 being the highest statistics age group when I first started out with my play, because we do statistics in the play, and that was like in 2013, 2013. However, when we went to do the play in 2016, we had a whole new set of statistics, and The greatest age group now has actually went down is 8 and 9 year olds, and even 10 and 12-year-olds. So it's no longer 15-year-olds, the high statistic. It's younger children now that is leading the statistic rate and taking their lives, as sad as that is. So in 2014, in the United States of America, we had 42,773 deaths. And in 2016, that went up to 44,965. In the world, in the entire world, we have over 800,000 suicides a year. 1 in 3 youth reports being bullied. There's a huge percentage that will not even report it. Why am I talking about bullying? Bullying is one of the direct reasons why most youth, especially these younger ones, take their lives. To every one suicide, there is 4 attempts. 160,000 students stay home every year from school due to being bullied. Every 30 to 40 seconds, there is a suicide. There's an increase in bullying in youth or people with disabilities, the LGBT community, with race, social status, people being poor, or the way they look or don't look. It's crazy. So we have verbal bullying, we have physical bullying, we have cyberbullying. I'm not going to go into the definitions because most people know what all of them are by now. Oftentimes, this causes depression, anxiety. You might see your youth or adults also deal with, not just youth deal with bullying, but I specifically go and speak to youth and talk about youth, but I also end up talking to parents because they come out, and what I find at my plays is that some adults were bullied when they were kids and they never got over it. They come to me after the play, and some of them in tears, and they share their stories. So this is a lifelong thing. When you're bullying somebody, it's not just a joke or a prank. You're affecting them for the rest of their life. I don't remember a lot of things about my childhood, but I do remember things where people made me feel bad or tried to hurt me or did bully me. I remember certain things. It was never a lot, but there were a few things I went through that was detrimental. Low self-esteem, isolation, thoughts of suicide. Those are some of the things that they would experience. So when I go out, I also let people know that there is help. There is a national hotline. If you don't feel like there's anyone around you can talk to, you're just angry. You just can't talk to anybody. You don't trust anybody around you. You're too embarrassed. You're too ashamed. Pick up the phone and call the national hotline where there's no one will judge you. The number is 1-800-273-8255. 1-800-273-8255. I'm going to try to post that number on my link if I can. New to all this, so bear with me as I come forth with these videos trying to help people. You can also text the word HOME, H-O-M-E, HOME, to 741-741 for a live chat conversation if you are depressed, suicidal, and need someone to talk to. Just a couple other things I want to share really quick. There's a couple of youth I want to highlight. One name is Natalie Hampton. I don't know how old she is right now. I need to find out. But she was a teenager when she created the app Sit With Us. And it is an app that students can use while they're in school. They can go on this app and find out. They have ambassadors in their schools who take on this role. And they post who is welcoming them, the students that come and sit with them on different lunch periods, because oftentimes students are bullied. They're bullied in places like the cafeteria, the hallways, the bus stops, outside on the bus, and the cafeteria can be a lonely place when they're isolated and just treated this way. So this was a brilliant thing, and she experienced this, and she created this app, and it's very, very, very popular, and hats off to her, hats off to you, Natalie. Then there was another youth. Let me see if I can find her name. Okay, her name is Trisha. I believe you pronounce it Prabla. I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name, but her name is Trisha. She did an app called Rethink. It's a keyboard. It's called Rethink, the Rethink keyboard. So what happens is when people use that, when they begin to create something that is harmful, something on the computer to somebody, this will interject and say, do you really want to post this, or rethink what you're saying? And it's been proven, if I'm not mistaken, I believe she said like 76% of the time that a person will rethink and do a different post and not go on with that post that they were going to use. There is also a keyboard done by Apple. It's called I Am a Witness, and this is for a person that wants to be a silent bystander. In other words, they want to interject, but they don't want anyone to know who they are. Or so you use your signs on the keyboard to say, I see you. You're watching someone bully someone. That kind of also interjects. You're standing up and intervening for someone. That's the purpose, a definition of a bystander. You actually intervene when someone's being bullied. And it has been proven that 55.3% of the time when someone becomes an upstander or a bystander, interjects or intervenes, that 55.3% of the time the bullying stops. I'm almost done. So to the bully, I say to you, don't isolate yourself. Don't blame yourself. Don't self-abuse yourself. Don't begin cutting, taking drugs, or anything like that. Do not commit suicide. We need you. Your family needs you. The world needs you. You have a destiny. You have a purpose. You have a journey to heal. I will be doing a video on your journey to heal in the very near future. Parents, talk to your kids. Always, always, always. Just because they're being quiet, they're staying in their room, they're being crabby, they could be going through something. They don't want you to know. They're not going to tell you. You have to investigate. You have to be on them like white on rice. You have to recognize the signs of anxiety, of isolation. You have to see the difference in them not wanting to go to school, them always feeling bad about themselves, them having stomach aches and headaches and all these different things and being crabby all the time. Why? You have to get to the bottom of it, and don't wait. So many parents, after their child has taken their life, says, I was just about to get them help. I was just about to get ready to take them out of that school. If they've been bullied and you know about it and you've gone to the school and they've done nothing, please take them out of the school. Homeschool them. If you can't do it, there's other parents that take in students and do homeschooling. Please do it. There's so many great reasons, other reasons to do homeschooling, which will be my next video. Please, for you, I'm ending this video. Choose to live. Choose to live. Find a support group. Counseling. If you don't want to do one-on-one counseling, get into a support group. Once you choose to live, you have to take the necessary steps to take care of you, to survive, to live, to not go back to that dark place. So do your work. Find a hobby. Find a skill. Do something that you love, you enjoy. Find a new skill. Find a new set of friends. Meditation. Find some type of activity. Until the next time, have a great day, and I love you.